Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie, and I would like to welcome you to Thursday afternoon and to Craft Spot. Thursday afternoon, where I am, it might be a little bit different time if you are somewhere else around the world or if you're watching this on replay. But regardless, welcome and thank you so much for joining me today. I have a fun card to share with you. I was at a uh, I was part of a group that hosted a demonstrator event a couple of weeks ago, and we each had different projects that we shared that were part of the make and takes, and then we had different techniques that we shared just to, help share information with other demonstrators. And this is one of those. So I am going to show you that card in a moment, and we will create a couple of them. But first, I must tell you. If you are not a demonstrator yet, and you therefore didn't get to go to our demonstrator only event, um, you want to join. You want to join now. You need to join now. You must join now. Okay, I suppose must is a little strong. However, Stampin' Up! Has the best starter kit offer they have ever had. Choices, you get choices. So the first choice is um, sort of, well, they're both kind of wrapped around our standard offer. Our standard offer is that you get to select $165 worth of Stampin' Up! Product, anything you want, and you only pay $135 with no shipping. And you get some other supplies, and you get a paper pumpkin kit, and you're off and running. So $165 worth of product for just $135 and no shipping. That's a great deal. It's a great deal any day, anyway. But it is so much better right now. Right now, you can select that $165 worth of product and you only pay $48. $48. That's 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 not even two kits. Depending on which kits, but it's less than a bundle. It's crazy pricing, but it's awesome if you're not a demonstrator yet and you'd like to join the Great Stampin' Believers family. Um, so $165 of any product you choose, and you pay only $48, no shipping. Now, if you have a little bit bigger wish list and or you want to get some big ticket items, perhaps the cut and emboss machine or the advent calendar, some of those kinds of things. Even even I'm not positive it's still available, but that 12-month scrapbooking, oh gosh, I don't even remember the name, but it was 12 months and it was a big ticket item, but that would fit in the second deal. The second offer is that you select $252 worth of product and you only pay $165 for that. No shipping again. So either way, it is an awesome, awesome opportunity to join Stampin' Up, to see what it's all about, to take advantage of discounts on all your crafting supplies, to craft with the Great Stampin' Believers team, to join our community, to get the inside track on new products and see them first and be able to shop for them before anyone else. All sorts of fantastic things. Amazing training from Stampin' Up! If you are interested, and great events in person and virtual. I mean, I could go on and on, but it is awesome. So even if you just want to do a little bit of shopping, $165 worth of shopping perhaps, and you'd like to pay just $48, reach out to me now. This offer is for a limited time only, and you don't want to miss out. There is no risk. There is no obligation. You don't have to sit here and, talk to a screen the way I am. Although if you are here, do say hello. I'd love to chat with you, but I haven't even looked that far yet. I was just so excited to make sure that I shared this with you because it is the deal of the day, and there's so many fabulous perks to it. So do reach out to me if you're interested in hearing more, or if you just want to sign up, and we'll get you all set up. Once you're part of our Stampin' community, you get a 20% discount, at least a 20% discount on everything you purchase. And you still earn Stampin' rewards. So it's just one benefit on top of another. Can't be beat. And it's an awesome community to be a part of. Okay, shall we do some crafting? I will come back to this at the end because you don't want to miss this one. This is just too good to let it pass you by. So this is the card. This is not the card that we had at our event, but I've made this one because I wanted to make sure I had a bit of a clue what I was doing. Keep the adventure to a bit of a lower level, maybe a minimum. Hey, Kathy, welcome. So this is what we're doing today. Fun card, lots of chopping, not a whole lot of supplies required for this though, so you can do it uh, with just a little bit of product that you probably have sitting around. Starting with a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. Give that a nice burnish, and I think I felt it move. Oh, just a tiny bit, but I hope you're having some beautiful fall or autumn weather where you are, Kathy. I never know whether to use the word fall or autumn. I use them both, but anyway, we have had just some beautiful sunny days, that crisp air, all the things that I'm really not a huge fan of, but it's what we get this time of year. So okay, I'm going to set my card base. So where am I going to set it? Maybe I'm going to move this one up a little bit, set my card base over here so that you can still kind of see it. And I'm going to come in with two pieces of 3x3 designer series paper. Now, the voice of experience would suggest that if you use non-directional designer series paper, it does make your life a little easier. This paper, floral something or other, I think. I have it here. I can tell you. Floral Charm. Uh, this paper did have a direction. Here's a chunk of it. So you can see that it really does kind of have a direction. And I've managed to work it out that I don't think you notice, but there truly are some pieces on here that are not properly oriented. But there's lots of flowers and I think it hides well. Oh, sunshine and cooler temperatures, yes. So if you're not a summer heat kind of person, this is a beautiful time of year. And it hasn't been gray and rainy and dreary. So that's been that's been a good thing. Yes. Okay. So 3x3, and I am going to cut this into two triangles. So I'm just lining up my points on my cutter, and I'm going to cut that. I'm going to put these together. You can cut them one at a time if you wish. These are 4.25 across here. So, hello, Christine. Thanks for stopping by. So I am going to come in to 2 1/8, and then I'm going to put the point down there, and I'm going to cut those in half again. And that is going to give me let's get these going, right? So I now have these pieces. And I'm just kind of laying them out onto my card base. I'm going to come in with my other 3x3 piece of designer series paper. I am going to cut it into two triangles. And then I'm going to cut one of these into I guess I need them both, don't I? Cut into triangles. Uh, so I could cut both of these again, I think. 1, 2. Okay, I'm just going to do these one at a time because I'm going to get confused here. So I'm back to my 2 1/8 and down to the point. Whoa, saved it. My hand just kind of moved as I started to do that. So this is going to come in here, and this is going to come in here. And then I am going to cut this one in half as well. I could have cut them both together, but all of a sudden I started to think maybe I was doing it wrong, but I wasn't. Okay, and then I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to cut it in half again. So this is 3 inches, so I'm going to go to 1.5 and put my point on the cutter, and I'm going to cut that into 2 triangles, and these are going to go into my corners. Okay, so that's what you do with cutting. You will have one triangle left over. Okay, and then you just want to play around with them a little bit to get them kind of spaced where you want them on your card base. And this is probably the trickiest part right here, getting them to the point where you're happy with the spacing. You will have a little extra space in the center there, but that will get hidden behind your sentiment. Okay, and it doesn't need to be perfect, perfect, perfect. This is a handmade card. So I'm going to bring in my liquid glue, and I am going to start, I think, with the corners. This is what I did on the last one. It worked there. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work well again, but we're going to give it a shot. I just opened a brand new glue. This is the last bottle of new glue that I have at the cottage right now. What am I doing here? I need to do this. Focus, because you got sticky stuff on there now, Connie. You need to half pay attention to what you're doing. Um, so, when this one's getting low, it's time to close the cottage. I think that's how it works, right? I actually will be heading home somewhere around Thanksgiving weekend, perhaps as late as the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Our Thanksgiving is going to be a quiet one this year. The family was all otherwise occupied with other activities and other sides of the families. So it's just Steve and I. We often celebrate with friends at the cottage, but they are on an African safari. I have never been on an African safari, and I've never really had a burning desire to go on one. But I got to tell you, the pictures she's sending are insane. They're like almost inches away from a giraffe, which apparently are very friendly. Who knew? Um, and lions right outside there. They sleep in, she called it a tent. It's a pretty nice tent, and it's got looks like wooden structure around it. But the lions are not all that far away. And it's like, wow. Anyway, it looks incredible. So kind of makes me think, oh, maybe. You hear a lot of people say that a safari is on their bucket list, and I hadn't ever really put it on mine, but I may have to rethink that one. So by the time you get all these pieces glued and down, you probably don't have a lot of wiggle room left. But since I haven't really pushed them, I could lift them if I needed to. But I think we're in pretty good shape there. So I'm just going to come in and give that a bit of a press and turn it over, and then we can give it a really nice press down. And there is our base. So it's so cool how that all comes together. It's nice when it works out the way you planned. And then I have a sentiment piece. This is from the Traditional Labels die set. And I am just going to come in with some Old Olive ink. And I'm using a sentiment from the Sentimental Framing stamp set. So I'm going to use Thinking of You for this one. So, okay. Quite large. It sort of fills fills the space. There we go. Let's get some of that ink off of there. Close this up because we know how open ink pads go. It's going to give this a little clean because I haven't decided what sentiment I'll use on my next card. Whoops. This one has those extra layers just of interest there. But let's pulled it up a little bit. I'll just put it back. I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. Oops. Oh, well, you know what? We could use these. These are the nothing but the edge pieces from the mini dimensionals, but let's go ahead and use these up, get them out of the bucket. Okay. So I just need to chop these into some pieces here so we don't want to put the whole sheet border on. Don't. There we go. And I will just pull these things off. There we go. Okay. I'm going to put that right in the center. There we go. And then I think I'm going to use these. These are the pressed flower motif gems, and I just thought they had a really nice sort of fall look to them. So I'll use some of these. They are heavy in the packaging for the little piece of plastic that is under them, but they hold really well on your card. They're not too heavy for card making, so they work just fine for that. Where do we want this guy? Maybe right about there. Sure. What the heck, eh? There we go. So that is the card. It's comes together a little faster the second time round. Just saying. Oh, what about a bow? Do we want a bow? This could be a masculine card right now. Maybe I'll leave this without a bow in case we want to be thinking of a little more masculine undertones, because the next one that I have is going to be flowers again. So for this one, I have a piece of Secret Sea for my card base, and this is the Impressions of Bloom designer series paper. So this is also a great way to use small pieces of designer series paper. You ever get to the bottom of your pack? It was funny at our paper pumpkin and kits party the other night. One of the ladies was talking about, she was so proud of herself. She had the Perfectly Pears designer series paper. She loved it and she was determined to use every last bit. So she said she was doing all this crafting and uh, she'd done some crafting from our card club. which used various sizes of paper. And then, she had some scraps, and so she got down. She was using some smaller pieces and different framing things that we've done at some of our use up the scraps crafting events and stuff. And then she got to the strips, and she was doing the one where you just put the strips on the card. And then she finally got to the point where there was nothing left. She said, I used it all. I used every last bit. It was all the little bits and pieces and everything. So this would fit right in there somewhere along the way. And you could use um, different designer series paper if you wanted. You could probably find two patterns that would coordinate nicely. And you can do that if you wanted, just to change it up a little bit. I didn't really think of that until right now, so I did not prepare for that. But you could. Okay, let's just get this stuff on here laid out so we can see where we're going with it. These flowers did not have a direction, so that makes life quite easy. I just need to think about which way they go on the paper. Something tells me that something's not quite right somewhere. This and this. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Why is this? Why does this not fit? Is it just need to be, it just needs to be shifted a bit. And this needs to be shifted a bit. And then it does fit. Don't anybody panic. It was an operator error. The squares are 3 by 3 when you start, and you cut them all in half. And then one of them you cut in half again. Okay, so, okay, I like that. Let's get to the glue. Yeah, so two DSP squares, 3 by 3 each. Cut them both in half, and then in half, and cut one of them in half. Did I get that right? Cut them in half. What is this? I should measure, and then I could tell you. This is 2. Does that make any sense? What did I cut? This is 2 1/8. 2, and so if I do this, and then I do this, that's not 3 by 3. So it must in half and in half. And into 2 triangles. Yeah, so you cut it and you cut it, and then one of them you cut again. I think that's right. Gosh, now I'm confusing me. That's not hard to do, really, but I did cut them twice. Yes, I do recall now because I stacked them up, right? I'll be fine. You're straining my brain, Kathy. But it's all good. It's just one of those, it's almost like magic, right? You start out with a couple of squares of paper and then it turns into all of this stuff. It's like, wow, how did that come to be like that? It's magic. corner one on because then I can fit that last one into the gap and sort of space it evenly. Why I started with the edges on the first one. I kind of went, oh, no, I did kind of leave the middle ones, didn't I? How about that? You pick your card up and half of it's not there anymore because you didn't actually glue it down. I can get it. I think the rest are down. Okay. Whoop. Just said this might be a little bit wide, but there it just slid over. So, okay. I think we're good. And turn it over. Give it a press. And maybe we'll go back to happy birthday on this one. This happy birthday is from the With You in Mind. Great big beautiful sentiments. They are bigger than shown on the front. I don't think it actually says that on here. Usually it says, images shown at 80% or whatever it is. So I got out my die cut piece of paper and I thought, oh, look at that. Thinking of You will fit. But then when I got the stamp out, it's like, oh no, that will not fit. It's a very large sentiment, but happy birthday does fit. Kind of just, but that's okay. It fits. So let's not stamp on top of our card there. Just up here a little bit, get it inked up. This is Secret C ink that I'm using for this one to coordinate with the card base. Oh, bring this down a little bit so I can kind of sort of see what I'm doing. It's my story. I'll stick with that. There we go. Okay. Bring our card back, flip that over, and we will put some dimensionals onto this guy. Okay. Oh, where did I put my trash bin? I just moved it over to the edge. Plunk that right down in the center-ish. Ah, quite in the center. Let's see if I can this way. And by center, I mean side to side. Not overly concerned with it this way because it's in a good spot. Okay. Now, gems, look, we have these hues of blues flowers, and they will be perfect. Ooh, ooh, so many colors. And look, there's even white in here. So pretty, but I think I'm going to put them on there. So I don't think I want white. Maybe we'll just stick with dark, or should we go with this next color? Could even use this color. It's not quite, this is Cloud Cover. This is Misty Moonlight, which is what these are, and this is Secret Sea, which is what these are, or the card base. Oh, so many choices. Maybe the lighter one. Do you think the Misty Moonlight? Kind of think this might look really nice. And I think I'm going to pause for a moment. What do you think about a bow on this one? Shall we add a bow? It's just, I had this tied. I was trying to see if I had enough to do 3, because I did 1, and then I needed 2 more, and then I decided I wasn't going to do one on that one card anyway. But I think this will work. We'll put this onto here. This is that gold. Gold ribbon. Very lovely. There we go. And then we can fit our flowers in between or towards the top. One right down there. Maybe one more for this edge. There we go. Sure. You like the misty moonlight flowers there, Kathy? That's good. That's good because I did that. Okay. So there we have it. Look at that. They really do get faster after you've done the first one and you kind of have a feel for where to put your paper and the spacing and that sort of thing. So um yeah, and you could possibly uh rearrange that. I'm not sure. I guess you could do the whole thing reversed, but I copied the card that was shared with us at our event. So, that just seems like the safest thing to do. Okay, this looks straight, but it is not. There we go. It's a little better, isn't it? Okay, let me find all the right buttons here. So there's your cards for today. I hope you like them. Give them a try. They're kind of fun. And like I said, it's a great way to use up designer series paper. Two 3 by 3 squares and just cut them in half, and then one square, just one square cut in half a third time. And lay them out on your card base, glue them all down, and you're done. It really is it's a quick card, but it looks more complex than it really is. The first one felt a little tricky, I'll be honest, but it does get a lot easier. Practice makes us better, right? Anyway, one last quick reminder. If you are watching this, couple things you can do for me. Please share my videos. I would love to have you share this, and then more people can make this fun card. Um, but I would really appreciate if you would share this video. And if you are not a demonstrator yet, do reach out to me. Time limited offer that is crazy. Such a good deal. If you need to buy any craft supplies, now is the time to join. If you're looking for Christmas gifts for friends or family, our kits are awesome for um, gifts. And so join, get your kits at a discount, a double discount. All right. That is it for today. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to crafting with everyone again really soon. Take care. Bye for now.